to speak.
Y'all know how obnoxious I am. I'm not going to be using the card.
It's not working?
Well, just the names are all messed up.
Whenever you're ready to start.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. Invocation will be by Councilwoman Cook. And I'd like for all first responders to stand up and lead us in the pledge. Ms. Cook.
Lord, we are meeting today to conduct matters of business. Guide our hearts and our minds in the spirit of fairness, right thought, and speech. Impart your supreme wisdom upon our activities so that our affairs may reach a successful conclusion. Thank you for being our source of guidance today. Amen.
Go ahead, first responders.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. We welcome you to the City Parish Council meeting. As presiding officer and chair, I'd like to announce the following. This is a public hearing. To address the council on any item on this agenda, please fill out the request form and submit it to the clerk prior to the call of the agenda item, or you will not be given the opportunity to speak. Staff assistance is available if needed. Items for submission to the council should be handed to the council clerk, Ms. Veronica Williams, seated to my left in the middle. When addressing the council, state your name and title for the official record. The 5-minute rule will be in effect. There will be no debating or confrontational statements. The front row to my left is for media. Food and drinks are not allowed in the auditorium. Please silence all phones and electronic devices. Meeting procedures are by resolution and not by Robert's Rules of Order. All documents with reference to the meetings can be found on the LCG website. And finally, the council encourages your involvement in boards or commissions. If interested, please call 291-8800. Chair announcements. Councilmember Bruce Conk is unavailable to attend tonight's meeting due to previously planned commitments. Item number 15, discussion item, Walker Road Drainage Project. Councilmember Lewis is requesting that this item be deferred indefinitely. Item number 18, 0-195-2019. There is an amendment to correct some whereas clauses to state that the ordinance is changing the pay plan. It currently says it does not. Item number 23, final adoption. Request by legal to amend the ordinance to further amend the agreement by substituting a new Exhibit A for the existing Exhibit A. I would like to wish a happy birthday to Ms. Teresa Elbertson, Library Director, which she will celebrate on November 15th. I'd also like to note that the electronic system is in disrepair. All votes will be via voice vote only. You will not see them on the screen, voice vote only. At the appropriate time, all the council mics will be hot. I will ask my council members to acknowledge that they would like to speak, and their mics will be hot, and we'll proceed with the meeting by that. Another important reminder, early voting is open until this Saturday, and also Election Day is November 16th. Please exercise your right to vote. We'll go to council announcements, and I'm going to make all mics hot. Seeing no council announcements at this time, we'll move to the Executive Mayor's report. Mayor President.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll turn it over to Ms. Lori Toops to give you the budget to actual update.
This is the budget to actual for the month of September 2019. It is now required to be presented to you at a public meeting and reflected in the minutes.
Thank you, Ms. Toops. The second item is the update on the animal shelter, and just wanted to let the council know that we have signed a contract for the construction of the shelter, and so that project is moving forward. And then also, I think Melinda's here to talk to the council about a bid recommendation.
Hi, Melinda Phelps, Controller. This item on the agenda is a vehicle maintenance inventory stock item. Therefore, purchasing needs council approval in order to award to the lowest bidder.
I have a motion by Councilman Nakian. A second by Councilwoman Hebert. Is there any public comment on this matter?
No, sir.
Please call for the vote to award the bid.
District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6, District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
Yes.
District 9. The motion is approved.
And then finally, Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to give a shout out and thank you to the staff. UL's homecoming, embrace the culture was the theme, and they have their contest to paint the town red. And for certainly the first time in my tenure, the folks at City Hall won for Best Interior Decoration, first place in the business division. So everybody that participated, showing your spirit. I know there was some conversation about whether finance was the reason we won or community development, but they both did an outstanding job. So thank you to all the departments that participated, and that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. We'll now move to resolution. Cindy, please read.
Resolution 60, 2019, a resolution of the Lafayette City-Parish Council acknowledging receipt of and approving the fiscal year 2020 budget submitted by the Lafayette Airport Commission.
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Nakaya, second by Councilman Lewis. Any council discussion?
No, sir.
Any blue cards?
Oh, no, sir.
Please call for the vote.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
Yes.
District 9,
Yes.
District 1.
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved. Resolution 61, 2019, a resolution of the Lafayette City-Parish Council declaring those holidays to be observed by employees of the Lafayette City-Parish Consolidated Government for the calendar year 2020.
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Terrio,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Cook. Hearing no council discussion. Any blue cards?
No, sir.
Please call for the vote.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
Yes.
District 9,
Yes.
District 1,
Yes.
District 2.
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved. Resolution 62, 2019, a resolution of the Lafayette City-Parish Council authorizing the filing of an application with Louisiana Commission on Law Enforcement and Administration of Criminal Justice for a 2018 Edward Byrne Justice Assistance Grant for the Lafayette Police Department.
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Nakaya,
Second.
second by Councilman Terrio. Any council discussion? Any blue cards?
No, sir.
Please call for the vote.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
Yes.
District 9,
Yes.
District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3.
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved. Resolution 63, 2019, a resolution of the Lafayette City-Parish Council providing for the construction of sewer system improvements within a portion of Consolidated Sewerage District of the City of Lafayette, State of Louisiana, in a manner provided by Subpart A, Part 2, Chapter 9 of Title 33 of the Louisiana Revised Statutes of 1950, Greenfarm Road area.
Motion by Councilwoman Cook,
Second.
a second by Councilwoman Hebert. No council discussion at this time. Any public comments?
No, sir.
Please call for the vote.
District 5,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
Yes.
District 9,
Yes.
District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4.
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved. Resolution 64, 2019, a resolution of the Lafayette City-Parish Council supporting the 2020 United States Census and authorizing a complete count committee.
A motion by Councilwoman Cook,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Hebert. Ms. Kelly Corville, would you like to come up to discuss the United States Census 2020?
Yes, thank you very much. My name is Kelly Corville, and I work with the United States Census Bureau. I'm a partnership specialist, and I just wanted to thank you all for the opportunity to speak with you very briefly tonight. I know you have a lot on your agenda. The Census believes in strong partnerships with local communities and local governments, and we're very excited to be here speaking with you and meeting with you tonight. I'm going to talk to you about 3 quick points: what, why, and how. So what is the census? The census is a complete and accurate count of every person living in the United States on Census Day, which is April 1st of 2020. Why do we do that? We do it because it's mandated by the Constitution that every 10 years we take a complete and accurate count of every person that lives in the United States. So that's one of the reasons. The other reason that we do it is because it provides critical data for lawmakers, elected officials, business owners to use so that they can provide services, products, and support for you and everybody in this community. So it's really important that the count that we get is accurate and we have the right numbers for Lafayette Parish. We believe that we need to count everyone once, only once, but in the right place. And that way the federal dollars that are funded back into the communities are accurate and go where they need to go so that you all can provide for the people that live here. One of the things that happens with that money, it's over $675 billion every year that the federal government distributes back into our state and local communities. So we want to make sure that Lafayette Parish gets its fair share. This funding allows you to provide support and services for the residents through Head Start programs, school lunch programs, housing assistance, fire protection, and that's just to name a few. So many people in our community use those services. If those numbers aren't correct, if we don't count all of the children that live here, then when the people that live in this community go to ask for those Head Start services, you're going to be shorthanded and we're not going to have the money to provide the services to everybody. So it's important that all of the residents understand everybody in their household needs to be counted. Only once, but counted once and where they live. Today, you're beginning that process of how to count the people by passing the resolution to partner with the Census and form a complete count committee. You're doing your part in making sure that we get people together who are going to work to make sure that we use the right tools for Lafayette Parish to get the word out to everybody that it's important that they fill out the census when it arrives in the mail. We're going to do it 3 ways this year. For the first time, you're going to be able to answer the census online, which we hope will allow a lot of people who are really busy and can't find the time to do it wherever they are. You'll also be able to do it by dialing a number and answering the questions over the phone, and then also by mail, which is the way many people are used to doing it. If you don't respond those 3 ways, we'll send out several reminders, but at the end of about 30 days, then someone will come to your door and knock and ask you to answer the questions with them in person. If we can alleviate that part and just make it a few people that have to go door to door, most people answering online, then we save a lot of money and we save a lot of time. So we're hoping that everybody will get that questionnaire in the mail and turn around and fill it out really quickly on their phone, and it'll all be done. Just to let you know, we're here to help. Once you all decide who will be on that complete count committee, we'll come back in and train them and work with them to make sure that we provide you all with all the tools you need to get the word out, so that on April 1st, when that letter arrives in the mail, people go, oh, I know what the census is. I know how important it is to my community that we're counted. I'm going to fill it out and send it back, instead of opening it and saying, now what is this? I don't really know what it's about. Hopefully in Lafayette Parish, they'll know what it's about, and you'll help us do that. So we appreciate you partnering with us. I'm here to answer any questions you might have, and I thank you for the time.
Thank you, ma'am. Don't see any questions. Thank you. Ms. Williams, we did get a motion in a second. I'm just double checking.
Yeah.
We did.
Okay, any blue cards?
Yes, sir.
Please call for the vote.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
Yes.
District 9, District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5.
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved. Resolution 65, 2019, resolution of the Lafayette City-Parish Council approving Oasis Community Coteries Letter of Commitment and Boundary Designation.
A motion by Councilman Lewis. Second by Councilwoman Cook. No council discussion. Any blue cards?
No, sir.
Please call for the vote.
District 8,
Yes.
District 9,
Yes.
District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5, District 7.
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved. Resolution 66, 2019, a resolution of the Lafayette City-Parish Council approving Quiet Town Coteries Letter of Commitment and Boundary Designation.
So move.
A motion by, who's that?
So move.
Councilman Boudreaux. A second by Councilman Lewis. Seeing no council discussion, at this time, Ms. Williams, any public comments?
No, sir.
Please call for the vote.
District 9,
Yes.
District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved. Resolution 67, 2019, a resolution of the Lafayette City-Parish Council authorizing the filing of applications for the FEMA fiscal year 19 flood mitigation assistance and pre-disaster mitigation competitive grants from the State of Louisiana Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness.
Motion by Councilman Terrio, second by Councilwoman Cook. No council discussion at this time. Ms. Williams, any public comments?
No, sir.
Please call for the vote.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9? The motion to adopt is approved. Resolution 68, 2019, a resolution of the Lafayette City-Parish Council providing for the canvassing of the returns and declaring the result of the special election held in the Parish of Lafayette, State of Louisiana on October 12, 2019 to authorize the rededication of special taxes.
A motion by Councilman Nakhan. Second by Councilwoman Cook. No council discussion at this time. Ms. Williams, any public comments?
No, sir.
Please call for the vote.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
District 5?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved.
We will now move to reports and/or discussion items. Please read number 14.
Annual LSU Ag Center Report.
Mr. Hebert, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. Charles Hebert, LSU Ag Center, County Agent. Good evening, Chairman Bellard, Mayor President Robodeau, members of the council, and members of administration and guests. Tonight we're here to present our annual report of the LSU Ag Center office in Lafayette Parish. For those of you who may not know, we are located at 1010 Lafayette Street in the Parish Government Building. And this evening I would like to introduce our staff as we begin. Our two Ag and Natural Resource agents are Stan Dutiel and Dan Davenport. Two 4-H agents are Victoria Dupuy and Cassie Phillips. And Family and Consumer Science staff is Tiffany Williams and Jared Kabule. We, the LSU Ag Center, are part of the Cooperative Extension Service, so we are funded through a three-way partnership between USDA, the two land-grant universities in Louisiana, which are LSU and Southern, and local government, which consists of the Lafayette Consolidated Government and Lafayette Parish School Board. Our programs consist of three major program areas in the area of ag and natural resources. These are programs that are taught, workshops presented by the staff in our office in the area of ag and natural resources. Then we go on to the next slide on Master Gardeners. So there are about 300 Master Gardeners that are doing educational programs here in Lafayette Parish and the surrounding parishes. There's an annual class, so if some of you are interested in becoming a Master Gardener, that is actually presented through our office. And then those Master Gardeners give almost 10,000 hours a year to the residents of Lafayette to educate them on gardening in the community. The next slide is Family and Consumer Science. These are the educational programs that are conducted in the Lafayette community, both through educational programs for adults and youth through the school system in Lafayette Parish. Then we go on to 4-H youth development. We have 4-H clubs in about 55 schools in Lafayette Parish, and reaching a little over 1,600 kids this past year. And then school enrichment, where we have the School Gardens program. So these are offered throughout the school year, delivered monthly. And we'll go on to the value of both our volunteers and our youth volunteers. They contribute about a little over 11,000 hours annually. To the right of that picture, you will see Louisiana won the National 4-H Shooting Sports Sweepstakes Award. They came home to Louisiana with a first place trophy, first time in the history, from Grand Island, Nebraska. And we did have one of our shotgun members on that team in Nebraska this summer. Moving on to the School Garden Initiative. This is our 11th year with that program. On the right, you'll see that we conduct a annual En Cuisine de Jardin, where all of our schools participate in an annual cook-off. And the 6th annual will be held in February on Saturday, February 16th. So each of our 9 schools will put together a team of 5 kids, elected official, a chef, and a school teacher that will prepare a meal. And then the Lafayette Parish school system will serve that meal next October to 30,000 students in the school district. The next slide, we have one of our school teachers through the school garden program. Michelle Levis at Green Tea Linden was recognized by the Louisiana Farm Bureau as the Ag in the Classroom Teacher of the Year. So we'd like to recognize her for her efforts in implementing Ag in the Classroom at Green Tea this past year. And just want to conclude by our mission to help the people of Louisiana improve their lives through educational process of using research-based knowledge focused on issues and needs. In your packets, you will see a Lafayette Parish profile of programs that were conducted this past year, and on the back, the audience that we serve, the number of people. And in your packet, there's a copy of this slide presentation if you need to reach us, and you will also find a Louisiana 4-H annual report for 2019. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. But again, we want to thank you, the council administration, for your continued support of the LSU Ag Center here in Lafayette Parish, and look forward to working with each of you. Thank y'all.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Williams, any public comments?
Yes, sir. We did have 2 citizens who did not wish to speak who signed in to support the Ag Center. We have 8 speakers signed in, the first of which is Mary Beth Harrington, and she will be followed by Anna Claire Zorain.
Thank you for allowing me to speak to the council tonight. I wanted to speak in support of Lafayette Parish 4-H because often people say if a program can touch just one child or one youth. I'm lucky to say that my daughter is the one child for this parish. Although that they touch many lives, Claire has been very lucky to be well received by the 4-H community since she was in 4th grade, and now she's a 10th grader at Lafayette High. I take you to the summer of 2018 where I really saw 4-H change my daughter. She was invited to be a delegate through the 4-H university program at LSU. They took her over there and it was a week that changed her life. For many weeks after, I kept hearing her say, this time last week I was doing this, and this time last week, 2 weeks ago, I was doing this. She envisioned herself at that time attending college and wanting to be in that higher learning atmosphere. So Claire has been so lucky to be a part of 4-H, and it's such a non-judgmental program. I thank Mr. Charles, Ms. Cassie, Ms. Victoria for working so hard with these kids and just making them feel encompassed and teaching them to be leaders. Claire is a junior leader, and I'm so proud of her because she sees them as role models. Anything that they can invite the kids to do, to be a part of in the 4-H office is really an awesome thing for Claire, and she's always enjoyed that. But I tell you, just to see her sprout so well with 4-H, and it's saying that she has any skill, any talent. Seeing her compete this last weekend in the Fall Fest over at J. Wallace James and winning in different categories. She entered 7 categories. She placed in 4, which is always exciting for her. And then to be a part of Achievement Day, being able to talk to others, and especially seeing her blossom with the little kids and having them really involved with 4-H and being a junior leader to them to show them that one day they can be like her. So I really want to thank these agents. They work really hard. A lot of you don't know how hard they work if your kid really isn't in 4-H. But I'll never forget when Ms. Cassie told Claire that Claire, 4-H goes beyond what you know. When you become a senior in high school, we're going to help you apply for scholarships. We're going to make sure that there are things on your track of education that you want to do. And Claire looks on the computer all the time for 4-H opportunities and things. And most proud that she's looking forward to staying in 4-H because she'll have a special stole at her graduation. And that's something really awesome that they've instilled in her, is to just look down the road, not look for just today. Thank you for allowing me to address you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next speaker, please.
Anna Claire Zorain, followed by Babette Werner.
Good evening. My name is Anna Claire Zering, and I'm a sophomore at St. Thomas More Catholic High School. And I'm here to speak on behalf of the Lafayette Parish 4-H program. Some information about me is that I'm a third-generation 4-H'er, and that I've been a part of 4-H for the past 7 years. I knew that when I attended my first 4-H meeting when I was in the 5th grade, I knew that 4-H was a special club. Thank you for supporting such an amazing program that every student can benefit from. From livestock to showing, there's something for everyone. Not only am I the vice president of my school's club, but I'm also the secretary of the Lafayette Parish Junior Leader Club, and I'm a member of the Louisiana State Food and Fitness Board. I've loved every minute of contest days, visits to LSU, and club meetings because of the camaraderie amongst my fellow 4-H'ers. I also want to mention how amazing the agents, parents, and club leaders for giving their time and energy into this wonderful club so that we as students can greatly benefit from having fun in an educational club. I know that for a fact. I've become a better leader, better speaker, sister, daughter, and friend, all because of 4-H. 4-H has formed me into the person who I am today, and for that, I'm forever grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next speaker, please.
Babette Werner, followed by Shovie Martin.
Hi, thank you for allowing us this opportunity to speak today. My name is Babette Werner, and I'm a former president of the Lafayette Parish Master Gardener Association. And the Master Gardener Association is a program offered by the LSU Ag Center. Master Gardeners complete a 13-week course provided by Ag Center agents and specialists to become a certified Master Gardener. In return for this education, members agree to perform volunteer hours in the community. We currently have 346 members. As Charles said, in 2018, our members completed 9,967 hours in Lafayette Parish at a value of $229,000. Our members logged 55,961 miles to perform this work in the community. Our programs are geared for all ages and are free of charge. Charles did speak about our school gardens, which are located in 9 Lafayette Parish schools, and he did speak about the activities with the students and the cook-off. Really what's important with this too is that children are learning where food comes from and are developing healthier eating habits. Master Gardeners founded and continue to run the medicinal garden at Vermilionville. Thousands of visitors locally, nationally, and internationally visit this garden. Master Garden docents provide education to all who visit the garden. They also sponsor a quarterly speaker series on medicinal plants at Vermilionville. Master Gardeners has an international award-winning children's garden at the Ira Nelson Horticulture Center on the ULL campus. We provide tours for local school groups. Our demo beds in the same location are available for self-guided tours for all ages. We assist the University of Louisiana at Lafayette with fundraising efforts for the Horticulture Center. We have a speakers bureau where members speak to groups. We have a speaker series that takes place at local nurseries and at our Lafayette Parish public libraries. Numerous horticulture topics are covered to educate the homeowner. We have an Ask a Master Gardener speakers where you can ask questions of the Ask a Master Gardener person. Our members helped establish the Farmers and Artisan Market at Moncus Park. We provide educational information both on our website and on our Facebook page. All of this is done working hand in hand with LSU Ag Center agents. Without the Ag Center, we would not have a Master Gardener program. In conclusion, we are tree huggers and plant lovers. The purpose of our organization and the LSU Ag Center extends beyond a personal satisfaction into one that serves a greater good. Our faithful and dedicated members give it their all to help improve our community. And again, thank you very much for letting me speak.
Thank you, ma'am. Next speaker, please.
Shovie Martin, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Oh, thank you. Next, she would be followed by Patricia Swallow. And if Ms. Swallow would come up and she could get with so many people and to get through the crowd, if she could come to the other mic to be ready to speak. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sherry Martin. I'm 14 years old and in the 9th grade. I wanted to come before you this evening to share with you what a vital role 4-H has had in my life. In my 5 years in 4-H, I participated in a wide variety of 4-H activities, such as cooking contests, livestock programs, being a club president and a member of Junior Leader Board, as well as the service and civic activities. My involvement in these activities have had such an immense impact on my life. It has opened up opportunities for me to grow in responsibility, teamwork, and perseverance. I've become more confident in myself and my leadership abilities. For all this, I'm so thankful for 4-H. Thank you.
Patricia Swallow, followed by Finley McGill.
Good evening. Thank you for your time. My name is Patricia Swallow, and I am a member of the Lafayette Parish Master Gardener Association, which is an Ag Center program. When I joined the Master Gardeners, I thought I would learn what I needed, fulfill my volunteer obligation, and then move on. Well, that was almost 20 years ago, and I'm still a very active member in this wonderful organization. Not only have I received an education beyond anything I ever anticipated, I am continually impressed with the people associated with this program and the Ag Center. Everyone has been professional, kind, and very generous with their time and knowledge. For 14 years, I volunteered as the class coordinator for our Master Gardener classes. During that time, we trained over 400 students, many of whom continue to contribute their time working with this program, helping to educate and assist home gardeners. We are frequently told that our association is the best in the state. We have implemented many programs and are always expanding our educational outreach in the Acadiana area. Our goal is to reach as many people as possible, sharing horticultural information and getting people involved in and enthused about gardening. During the 14 years that I worked with the Master Gardener class, my daughter Catherine, who has cerebral palsy and uses a wheelchair, often accompanied me on class days, learning many of the lessons being taught and getting to know our members and our speakers. She became an honorary member and decided that she wanted to contribute to the program also. Along with one of our long-term members, they began a gardening class for individuals with disabilities. These students are excited to learn about gardening and have benefited from the education. Our participants, many who had never touched the soil, are now growing plants and vegetables. They're requesting more information about things they would like to learn, and a couple of them have offered to contribute to and assist with presentations. Earlier this year, I had an opportunity to work with the School Garden Initiative Cook-Off. Although I knew about the program, I had not been involved with it. It is difficult to express how impressive these students are. Each participant was knowledgeable about their produce and proud of their accomplishments, and rightly so. I was not aware of how much of an impact this project has until I spent time with them that day. This program makes a difference that these young people will carry with them through adulthood, not just about gardening, but teaching them also about healthy eating and lifelong healthy habits. Our Master Gardener members come from all backgrounds, but they have two things in common: the love of gardening and the desire to contribute to our community. People from all across the state travel here to attend and participate in our activities, demonstrating to us that we are making a positive difference. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Finley McGill, and he will be followed by Jeremy McGill.
Hello, my name is Finley McGill. I am in 8th grade at Our Lady of Fatima. I am the vice president of my 4-H club this year. 4-H is important to me because it has given me a chance to try new things like shooting sports that I've completed since 5th grade. That would not have been possible without 4-H. This year I'm also raising chickens, which has not been possible without 4-H. I've been to 4-H camp and made new friends from schools and that would also have not been possible at 4-H. I am here tonight to ask you to continue support for 4-H in the future. Thank you.
Obviously, my son.
Oh, yeah, Jeremy McGill, followed by the final speaker, Chad Hanks.
Good evening. My name is Jeremy McGill. I own a small business here in Lafayette in what is now City District Number 1 for the last 15 years. My family and I live in Parish District 2, and my boys go to Our Lady of Fatima which is in City District 3, so kind of spread all over the place. I'm here this evening to talk briefly about the Parish 4-H program that's supported by the LSU Ag Center, and how important this program is to our children, my children especially. 4-H gives our kids an opportunity to grow the skills that they need to succeed, not necessarily in life only, skills like sewing or cooking or even livestock, but also the skills like a sense of personal accomplishment, or the opportunity to be a leader and where they might not get that opportunity in other places in their life. So, as my son, vice president of his 4-H chapter, very proud of him, and he's got an opportunity to go to camp. He's also, he's got an opportunity to go to camp as a 5th grader as well as 6th and 7th grade, which many of the kids that went with him might not get an opportunity to go to camp. They make it very affordable. It's something that's really fun for them. And if not for 4-H, they ultimately get that sense of belonging and to be part of something that they know that they can accomplish. But the most important takeaway and the most important part about the budget that you afford 4-H might be, I'm sorry, kind of lost my notes there, that year over year, most of what I want, sorry, my cards got messed up. Let me just go from the heart.
Even better.
In the end, the kids really get a chance to be part of something that they might not get a chance to do outside of 4-H. They get exposed to things that they're not going to get exposed to without those afforded opportunities. And it's important that the budget that the city and the parish give to 4-H continue to go on. I know it's happened this year, and we just want to make sure that in the back of your mind that it's important to us to continue forward. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker.
And Mr. Chair, final speaker is Chad Hanks.
Good evening, folks. I think most of you guys know me. I'm very impressed with the testimonial that was given and the importance of what the 4-H program is to this community. And I think each one of you up there realize that. But what I really want you to take away and real quick is the economic impact that agriculture has on this community is really far and beyond just our local parish farmers. Just our local parish farmers probably could contribute somewhere around $100 million with the multiplier directly into Lafayette Parish. Then you couple Acadiana and you see all of that dollars that are coming in. A very important part of agriculture is the LSU Ag Center. It gives us the research, the information. We're able to understand, get new varieties. There's a lot of important things, and I'm proud of Lafayette because I know that y'all are at the top as far as contributing to the LSU Ag Center on a local level, and I would hope that would continue because we've seen how proud we are, Teacher of the Year, Garden Teacher of the Year. That's a big honor, and we're a metropolitan area. We're not an ag community, but agriculture has a tremendous impact on this community, and we would like to see you guys continue to support the LSU Ag Center. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to remind everyone that item number 15 has been deferred indefinitely. We'll now move to ordinance for final adoption. Cindy, please read.
Ordinance 193, 2019, an ordinance of the Lafayette City-Parish Council amending the fiscal year 1920 operating budget of the Lafayette City-Parish Consolidated Government by transferring $500,000 from the Lafayette Development and Revitalization Fund 210 to the City General Fund 101 and appropriating within the Department of Community Development for the Neighborhood Revitalization Program.
Motion and a second. Motion by Councilman Nakam.
Second.
Second by Councilman Boudreaux. Any council discussion? Seeing none, Ms. Williams, any public comments?
No, sir.
Please call for the vote.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9? District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved. Ordinance 194, 2019, an ordinance of the Lafayette City-Parish Council, amending the Unified Development Code so as to reclassify properties along and near University Avenue, and adopting the University Avenue Overlay District, case number ZON 2019-0029, University Avenue Administrative Rezoning and Overlay District, located generally south of Portland Avenue, north of Silkwood Street, and west of North St. Antoine Street, the particular parcels being rezoned from industrial light and commercial heavy to commercial mixed and mixed-use neighborhood, with a conditional use permit for a dwelling, single-family, detached.
Motion by Councilman Lewis,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Hebert. Seeing no council discussion, Councilman Boudreaux, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you. Could Danielle and Kathy come forward, please? Mr. Chairman, I'm going to be offering an amendment to this. There was, in this process, there was opportunity for those property owners who preferred for their property to remain zoned commercial heavy as it is today, to maintain that, and there were, in a couple of instances, there may have been miscommunication or oversight. The property located at 504 North University in this particular tract was scheduled to be rezoned, and the property owner desires to maintain the current zoning. So I'm going to offer an amendment to allow that location within this map to remain commercial heavy. Kathy and Danielle is here. They could explain further if further explanation is needed, but they're familiar with what needs to be done and why it needs to be done. But that'll be my amendment that I offer, please.
Mr. Boudreaux is offering the amendment. Can you say the address, please, sir, again?
504 North University Avenue.
504 North University to remain commercial heavy. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
That amendment is on the floor. I have a motion and a second. Second by Councilman Castillo. Mr. Boudreaux's motion on the amendment. Any council discussion? Any blue cards, Ms. Williams, on the amendment?
No, sir.
Please call for the vote on the amendment.
District 4? Yes. District 5?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
The motion to amend is approved.
Any council discussion? Seeing none, any blue cards on the
Ordinance as
ordinance as
amended.
amended?
No, sir.
Please call for the vote on the ordinance as amended.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
The motion is approved. Ordinance 195, 2019, an ordinance of the Lafayette City-Parish Council amending the fiscal year 1920 pay plan for the Lafayette Police Department and amending the fiscal year 1920 operating budget and adjusting manning tables of the Lafayette City-Parish Consolidated Government by authorizing the use of City General Fund prior year fund balance in the amount of $3,815,000 and appropriating within the Police Department to implement said pay plan.
Motion by Councilman Terrio. Second by Councilwoman Cook. I'd like to remind everyone there is a proposed amendment, and the amendment is to correct some whereas to state that the ordinance is changing in the pay plan. It currently says it does not change. I need a motion and a second on the proposed amendment.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Boudreaux.
Second.
Second by Councilman Nakane. Councilman Boudreaux, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before we start to vote on these items, I felt it necessary to clear the air on a common theme that derives from last meeting. The name of the theme is called You're Playing Games. It seemed to have made national news as I had someone contact me to see what was going on in Lafayette. And a particular journalist here, I think he wrote about it on three different occasions. And being in journalism myself, I do it on radio. I respect that, and I'm okay with that. The only thing I would suggest is when you tell the story, tell the entire story. What wasn't said in neither one of the articles that was printed was that when the chief came up and said you played games, he said a phrase before he made that particular comment. The first thing he said is, Kenneth, you know I love you, but you're playing games. I truly believe that he loves me, and I think, and I actually know that we are friends because of things that have happened. But there's been a wrongful interpretation of what this particular issue, being the police pay plan, has brought to light. Let me be clear. I have always and will continue to support police, fire, and all public employees. For 11 years on this council, I was assigned to the police and fire liaison team, which was the first point of contact to bring forth any pay increase. And I use the word pay increase because for those who don't know, a pay plan is adopted every year in the regular budget. But to get an increase, you have to have a special effort take place in work to convince the members of this council to pay more. I think the chief truly loves me because I know his research shows that almost every one of those increases historically, I drove the bus on them, including under previous Chief Kraft. My support and work for this particular department has not gone unnoticed. One of the first things that happened when this council sat in 2008 was an initiative I led to create and fund Precinct 4. There was only 3 precincts in Lafayette. Many know the controversial, political, and very opposed process for the chief of police qualification issue. And yet again, I stepped out and did the right thing in bringing forth a voice of reason and fairness. Spoke with spouses, wives of candidates, in hope that we could be successful. Way to measure a person's relationship. Been to church with officers, not on Blue Sunday or any type of special recognition. It was just through brotherhood and friendship. Broke bread with them in some of the greatest times of need. One of the worst situations to ever touch Lafayette took place. I recall the battle for survivor benefits when no one else was listening. No one else would make themselves available. I did. Right now we have a training facility that's under construction. Many people push back about. I fought to get the training to complete that footprint. I know the chief loved me. Because when my daughter almost lost her life, and we were in that hospital in Baton Rouge, one of the few people who drove from Lafayette to Baton Rouge to check on us was Lafayette's chief of police. I'll never forget that. We've been through a lot. And through this particular journalism, it has created some divide. And it makes people think that certain individuals don't support the police. Well, that is not the case. I had a conversation with a high-ranking officer today, and he made it clear that they have not forgotten who has been there when others was questioning whether they should get this or get that. Janet Jackson had that famous song, "What have you done for me lately?" And many have taken advantage of that. And that's okay. Because like the good book says, this too shall pass. If you say it, if you print it, if you play it, say it all. Don't just say a part. They know who's been fighting over the years when no one else would give them an ear, would open their door, or even give them the time of day. And that's going to continue because it's the right thing to do. But let it be known, Kenneth Boudreaux has always and will always support good, highly trained, high quality law enforcement. Not when I'm leaving office, not in the last meeting of the month. I did it when I got here. I did it the whole time that I've been here, and I'm gonna finish it that way. I apologize for my voice tonight. Not feeling good. But I'm gonna be here. Gonna be here. I hope y'all remember that.
Thank you, sir. Any other council discussion? We're going to move to on the amendment at this time. Seeing none, any blue cards on the amendment only, please?
We did have 8 people sign in to speak to the ordinance, but I'm not sure if they would like to speak to the
Do
amendment.
any of the 8 people want to speak on the amendment only? If so, please raise your hand. Seeing no one in the audience raising their hand, we will now move to vote. I'll call the vote on the amendment, please.
Yes, sir.
District 5,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
Yes.
District 9, District 1, District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4.
Yes.
The motion to amend is approved.
Council discussion on the ordinance as amended? Seeing none, Ms. Williams, public comment on the ordinance as amended.
Yes, sir. We did have 461 citizens and officers who did not wish to speak, who signed in to support the ordinance. And we do have 8 speakers who are signed in to speak, the first of which is Nicole Oakes, followed by David Stanley. She passes, but she signed in to support the ordinance. David Stanley, he will be followed by Dorian Bradham.
Good evening. Tonight, I want to tell you all some stories of your
The
Lafayette.
mic a little closer, please. Thank you.
Sorry.
Okay.
Of your Lafayette police officers, the men and women in this room. Just about everyone has heard the story of the heroism and displayed by 4 Lafayette police officers at the Grand Theater and the valor of Corporal Michael Middlebrook. But I want to tell you some stories that maybe you haven't heard. Everything I tell you is going to have happened this year, and it's the men and women in this room right now. I'm going to cite case numbers, so if you want to look them up yourself, you can. Case number 19-138518. On April 28, 2019, at around 1 a.m., multiple officers were in the downtown area due to large crowds at Festival International. It was at this time a large fight broke out in the 400 block of Jefferson Street, and then the distinct sound of a gunshot rang out. As is the normal human reaction, hundreds of people began scattering and running away from the danger. In that moment, every single police officer in the area immediately turned toward the gunfire, began sprinting in that direction with the intent to save lives, putting themselves between the gunshot and the crowd downtown. The very reaction of running toward gunfire instead of away, as we have witnessed in other parts of this country, is a testament to the training at Lafayette Police Department and why we need to keep our officers here. Case number case number 19-215654. On June 30th, 2019, and around 8 p.m., officers responded to a call in reference to a gunshot going off and a toddler being shot in the head. Officers got on scene, located the child, and immediately began attempting first aid on the child. That child died due to his wounds. Those officers picked that child up and were trying to do first aid. You can never unsee a dead child in your arms. To be able to act under those type of extreme circumstances is a testament to the training at the Lafayette Police and why we need to keep our officers here. Case number 19-225199. On July 8, 2019, around 6:30 p.m., officers responded to a call in reference to a shooting in progress in the 600 block of Cora. Officers were on scene in less than 60 seconds from receiving the call, located the young man riddled with gunshots in the middle of the street, bleeding out. Officers immediately began putting pressure on the wounds of the victim and attempting life-saving first aid, all the while a large crowd gathered around them. Those officers had no knowledge of who had shot the victim or if that person was still present and armed. To be so selfless that you would willingly throw yourself into an unknown danger to try to save the life of a complete stranger is why we need to keep our Lafayette police officers here. Case number 19-270367. On August 13, 2019, around 9:20 p.m., officers responded to a call in reference to a shooting in progress in the 3800 block of Moss Street. When the first officer arrived, she observed a young man, only 17, on the ground with multiple gunshot wounds to the chest, thigh, and back. This officer immediately began life-saving measures, including applying pressure to the wounds to try to stop the bleeding. Once the ambulance arrived, this officer continued to apply pressure, riding with the Acadian to stop the bleeding while the paramedics worked. It has been acknowledged that if she had not responded as quickly as she did and began life-saving measures, the victim would not be alive today. He did survive. These responses are not something that people come to Lafayette Police with. We train for these circumstances, and when it comes time, apply them under the most intense pressures you can imagine. These stories are just a few of the plethora of stories that could be told about the men and women of the Lafayette Police Department. This community is amazing and truly deserves the kind of police officers the Lafayette Police Department provides. I'm proud to stand with this group of men and women, and I'm again asking this council to stand with us to keep these officers from our community, educated in our community, trained by Lafayette Police Department here in our community. While we look forward to a successful passage of this tonight, we have continued to have a dialogue with the council, and after speaking to Councilwoman Hebert, we are committed to looking at additional ways to retain our well-trained officers here in Lafayette. Last, I want to thank each and every one of you for your service to our community and your support of our department as we go about daily doing our service to this community. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker, please.
Dorian Branham had signed in to speak but passed his time, but signed in to support the ordinance. Our next speaker is City Marshal Mike Hill, and he will be followed by Josh Guillory.
Councilman Bellard and ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you tonight. My name is Mike Hill. I'm the City Marshal here in Lafayette. In the spring of 1973, and I didn't stutter, that was 1973, I was recruited to come to Lafayette to be a police officer in this police department. At the time, I was working in Baton Rouge as a Baton Rouge City police officer. Been there about 2 years and was working in an area they called the Bottom in Baton Rouge, an area just off the Highland Road, just north of LSU. In the 2 or so years that I'd been doing street police work at that time, like the 2 or 3 years of the rookie police officers who start here, and by the way, I was a rookie. I got to work the 9 at night till 5 in the morning shift, affectionately known as the dog shift, and I worked it for the whole time I was there. It was a busy place to work just north of LSU and off the Highland Road in the Bottom. But in that 2 years, I had seen more than I could imagine. I had handled multiple homicides. I had handled rape. I had handled death. I had handled perhaps the hardest thing that I dealt with, an aggravated incest case. There was not much that police officers see that I had not seen in those 2 years. And that was why I was recruited. I was recruited because the recruiters here knew then what was true in 1973 remains true in 2019. You don't learn to become a police officer in the academy. You learn to become a police officer in the street. We talk about people jobs. A street police officer does people jobs. They deal with people in the most extreme of circumstances, in the most terrifying times, scary times of their lives. And you learn how to deal with that, and you don't learn it easily. And those people who have learned that with their blood, sweat, and tears, being put in hospitals like I was, putting a couple of people in the hospital like I did, teaches you those things that you will need for the rest of your career to protect the people you have sworn to serve. You can only get it right there. It is incredibly important not to lose those officers, the 3, 4, 5, 8, 9-year officers who are the backbones and the guts of any police organization. Some of that retention can be done by the police department with internal things to make the department work better and make it an easier place to work, but nobody can provide the money that you provide. All of us, me then particularly, less so now. I've been very fortunate. I didn't come, by the way, because in the meantime I was admitted to LSU Law School, and while I was going to have to work 40 hours and continue to do that as a Baton Rouge police officer, the hour commute back and forth, I just couldn't handle while I was in school, so I chose not to come. Although at that time, Lafayette paid better than Baton Rouge, had college incentives that Baton Rouge didn't have, and was an altogether better place to work. I'm not sure that's still the case. My point is this, ladies and gentlemen. These guys in this room, those wearing police uniforms, my marshals are here, deputy marshals are here, they all have to support their families on what they bring home. And only you can provide them with that right, that benefit. You have to do what is necessary to keep the heart and soul of this police department here. You should not let them get away from your police department any more than you would let them get away from your own personal businesses. With that, I respectfully urge you to pass this plan. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker, please, Ms. Williams.
Josh Guillory, followed by Pastor Bobby Richard. Pastor Richard, if you're in the room, could you come up? Okay, he's walking in. The room is at capacity, so some of the people are outside.
Good evening, council members, Mr. Mayor President, to our fire chief, chief of police, and Marshal. Thank you for your time. Marshal Hill, Officer Stanley, that was moving. I mean, that pretty much represents what we're here for today. I mean, think about it. We really are, in this room, we are in the midst of heroes. We're in the presence of heroes in this room. You look around, we have deputy marshals, we have firemen, we have police officers. You know, I'm campaigning to be Mayor President of Lafayette, and I'd be honored to serve in that capacity. But what I'm asked quite often on the campaign trail is, what represents the best of Acadiana? What represents the best of Lafayette? And I submit it's these men and women. These men and women that are behind me right now, and their colleagues that are working right now so that we can peacefully assemble. We don't just wake up and we're here, you know, we can just kind of debate things in a peaceful country. We can do it because there are brave men and women that put their life on the line every day. I know you know this. I don't have to preach to you. I get it. And I know that each of you serve in good faith to our community. And I trust that you put the due diligence in looking into this ordinance. I believe you have. And I strongly urge you to pass this ordinance. I strongly urge that. There's also 2 introductory ordinances with the fire department and the marshals. For the record, I support that too, and I ask you to go forward with that. I'm not going to talk about it because it's not this item. I don't want Jared to fuss at me. but I appreciate you, and I also appreciate your service to our community. Some of you will serve in a different capacity, city or parish council. If God blesses me with a victory, just know that I am encouraged. I look forward to working with you so that we can find fiscally responsible ways to continue to support the brave men and women of our first responders, just like you will do tonight. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker, please.
Pastor Bobby Richard, followed by Wayne Colvin.
Kenneth, great to see that you actually look better live than on the monitor out there. Hey, it really hurt my heart to hear you, that you're hurting today. So I'm going to double down on heaven for you, my brother. So I wanted to speak to the ordinance tonight, of course, in support of it. I am a little biased because, military and I've worked for the Lafayette Police Department, so I'm, I do even weigh in, like that's not even fair, but I am a little biased on that. But the end of this for me, of course, I am conservative, and I'm thinking, the first thing that's running through my mind, if I'm you, is how we're going to pay for it, right? And that's the real thing. That does not sway me in this regard, and I would ask maybe this consideration. I think that some of you probably already consider that, and it simply has to do with the return on the investment. Turnover is high. You have to retrain folk over and over again. So in my conservative nature would simply say, let me look at where can I reallocate some funds to make sure that this is going to be cost effective in retaining quality security, police officers. Thank you.
Next speaker, please.
Wayne Colvin, followed by the final speaker, Corley Almabor.
Good evening. I want to address from a little different standpoint, I guess, than the others there. Kind of more from a fiscal standpoint. When we started hearing about all this topic, it was the police officers making below $40,000, and I can understand why y'all would want to support that. That was, just kind of like, well, they have to make a decent living and more sustainable. Well, when you look at the numbers and look at all the detail, it's a different picture altogether, because the other thing you kept hearing is that, it's an average of 40,000. Well, I don't know where that average came from, because when you look at it, there are 27 police officers on that position list making below 40,000. 27 out of 328 positions listed on there. Other police officers are already making at least 40,000 and more. Now, I'm not saying they're not deserving of a raise, and I'm not saying all these people aren't deserving of a raise. From what we've heard, they're doing a fine job. But the emphasis was, we're losing these first and second year people was kind of the emphasis I heard, and we've got to raise this base pay. Well, those few people in that bottom group are just a small number compared to the total base of 328 people listed on the spreadsheet that was developed by this paid consultant from the police union. And it's like a package. But when you have a package, it's just like when you go buy a car. Do you just take it and take the first offer given to you? Or do you look at it and say, wait, what's some bargaining ideas here? Maybe I can get a little bit more, or give up this, or swap this out. Because some of the cost on here are outrageous. We had two people making over 100,000 in it. Now we'll have 4 people. We had 2 people making between 90 and 100,000. Now we'll have 16 people making between 90 and 100,000. So we're really paying big bucks for those. We have people and captains making $11,000 increases, $11,900 for lieutenants. These are substantial increases. Oh, our police officers average $7,195 increase. It does bring them all up over the 40,000 and some up to 48, 49,000 in that range. So you've got that upkick, but the people at the top are really making the big bucks. For example, the top 41% of the pay grades here, 41% of the people are earning or will earn 55% of the dollars of this pay increase. The bottom, what is that, 59% will earn the 45%. So the top get more than the bottom group, substantially more. And it's not the total package because there's more costs involved. We talked about the 2% increase that may be kicked in on top of this. So you have somebody making $60,000 or $50,000 and you give them an 18% increase, as some of these increases are. That brings them up to 59. You give them another 2%, now they're up to 61,000, you know, maybe in a year's period of time. The fire department is coming right behind. Will any money be left over for them to handle that? I know many of you express your intent to support this thing, but hopefully you intended to support it to address those areas that were being shortfalled and those people that were underpaid. But maybe we've got to look at it and say, what's the fiscal responsibility and how can we afford this, particularly with other expenses coming down the road and for the next people coming on the council here, because they're the ones that are going to have to live it. Will the cupboard be bare? It very well might be, unless we do something really drastically.
The timer went off, sir. Thank you very much for your comments.
And Mr. Chair, our final speaker, Carly Amlabor.
Good evening, council members. Good evening, Mayor President Robideau. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to come this evening. I'm going to be brief. In my time at LCG, I've had the privilege of working with a lot of great officers and firefighters, and I am proud to be here tonight in support of their efforts. I know just how much they and the other employees at Lafayette Consolidated Government love Lafayette and work hard every day to protect us and sacrifice for their work. I've seen it firsthand, and so I'm proud to be here tonight in support of the pay raise. As you all know, I am running for mayor president, and I was the first candidate to publicly support the pay raise. I said months ago that I would work with the new city council to do that, and I applaud you all in the administration for putting this on the agenda before that time. I just want to say as a final measure that in January, I'm fully committed to working with the City Council to find the necessary ways to fund this pay raise, and that will likely have to be through some tough work. So those of you that are remaining on, I look forward to working with you, and I thank all of our first responders for their dedication and support of our community. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Any council comments? Seeing none, I'd like to call for the vote.
Ordinance as amended.
On the ordinance as amended.
Yes, sir.
District 5?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
The motion is approved.